Hello my 7 Deadly Sins family and friends, welcome back to another video. This video is a little different, but I think it's very important that it is done. We're going to go over some things that I think and the community thinks needs to be done to fix the game, to improve it and really revitalise the community, because a lot of people are upset and a lot of people are leaving, and I really want this game to succeed. I'm really enjoying it, but I can't deny that they have made some really poor decisions and executions of things that have been input to the game. So without further ado, let's start talking about some recent ones that are just a bit crazy. So as you all know, we have had, oh come on game, we've had these scissors and these needles added, and fantastic. They listened to us. They knew that we wanted to reroll passives and to get them higher and reroll the gear rarity, and make it cheaper to reroll the engrave reroll stats, you know. And I think that was fantastic. They listened to us. They added this, but they executed it really poorly. There's no keep or change function or anything like that. So whatever happens, if you've got level 2 and it goes back to a level 3 on the passive of the scissors, that's it. You have to live with that now. Same with the needles. If you have a 120 out of 130, it goes down to a 115 or whatever. You have to live with the consequence. And I think that's a very, very poor decision of the execution. So first off, we need a keep and change function. What would also be nice, but not as important, would be a pity system. So in my mind, if you picture the stun circle when you're fighting a boss, it goes up and charges up, then you get stunned. Use that same thing, but instead of the stun star in the middle, have an arrow upgrade. So as we use needles, as we use scissors, it goes up slightly each time until it fills up, and then when it's full, we're guaranteed an upgrade. It doesn't mean that we're going from level 1 to level 3 on the passive, or from 111 to straight to 130. It doesn't have to be that, just a guaranteed upgrade. So for example, scissors, you might need to do it 5 times, and on the 6th time it's guaranteed. And then with needles, again, because you can craft a lot more of these, maybe again it could be 5 times, and then on the 6th time it can be upgraded, or maybe 4 times, because this is, you need a lot more upgrade on this. But still, pity system would be really, really nice. Keeping on the subject of this, they did a really nice job lowering the transcendent essence cost and removing the platinum that we needed to create the sunstone alloys to create this. So I think that was a very, very good decision in my mind. But the cost of these platinum, as well as the transcendent essence, is just far too much. We can craft these 3 weekly. That's 30 platinum here, that's 40 platinum here, that's 70 just from doing the needles and scissors. And then we get we can do weapons. We can do multiple weapons each week if we want to do. That's 16 or 30. That's loads of platinum there, right? And then each week we get an engraving seal, and then to craft the enhanced magic enhanced thing, we need another 25. So even if we don't do SSRs, or so let's do 1 SSR, so do like max of each with 1 SSR. We've got 70 plat with this. We've got 30 or 16 plat here. So let's be an average. Let's say 20. So that's 90 plat for that. And then with this, that's another 25 plat. That's 115 plat on just weekly things, right? Which is insane amounts of platinum. You get about 10 ingots per day. Well, no, so now we've got the gallon one. We get about 12 to 15 ingots per day. And if you times that by 7, we're not even making 100, you know? There's not enough plat on the map to be able to craft all of this. And then the transcendent essence, it's just too much. We only get basically 5 guaranteed with every 20 keys. Because from what I have been done with all my testing, if you go into Ferzen or even Spider or whatever, you kill the main boss, I have not seen it not drop. You get one of these every single time, and then you use 20 keys. That's an extra one. That's 5. So you'd need to do 20 runs, which is 400 keys, just to be able to craft 1 scissor, right? That's crazy. 1200 keys in a week to get all 3 scissors, right? If that's all you do. If you don't farm this AFK, right? That's how much you need. Or so let's say we do 75 each day, times that by 7. That's not going to be enough keys, is it? And that's just if we solely try and get the Transcendent Essence. This needs to be lowered, half it. Get this down to 50, get this down to 30. You can even lower this down to 30 as well, and that will make it a lot more obtainable. Some other fixes people have complained about. In all other dungeons, we can do the mini bosses to farm these fragments, right? So we can do it to be able to craft the stuff. And you can do the mini bosses, which is really, really cheap and really, really good, right? And then even for the new amazing accessories, we can do the mini bosses. But because I think it was a good choice, but because we go straight into the boss fight for Ferzen, the only way to get the Ferzen stuff is by spending 20 keys. They should have done something similar to how they've done with the spider skip. You can do the mini bosses if you want to, but it pretty much skips you right to the boss. They should have done the same with Ferzen. Make a little shortcut with a teleporter to make you go from the start to near the end, and then if you want to, you can backtrack to do the mini bosses, or even get to the snail, because that's the closest one to the end fight, right? And then if you want to, you can do that, and then you can do the boss. So that'll be really handy. Or just increase the amount we get from the Ferzen mini boss. A lot of people have been quite upset with Escanor's power. Escanor came early. We know this. He shouldn't have come so early. They did it because people weren't very happy, and he was a very wanted character. And because of that, they had to nerf his strength to kind of match the state of the game at the time, but they overdid it. He is really not great. You know, Meliodas is strong, but you can even see in the story that we played that Meliodas got battered and Escanor had to save the day, and yet we play Escanor and it feels kind of wasted because he's just not nearly as strong as he should be. Now, I don't think they will probably change this, but it would be nice. There's not much more to say about that. Solutions. I do want to try and put solutions in here. We did just talk about the Plat. We obviously need more Plat income. Now, instead of just, I know we're going to expand the map and there'll be more Plat when we get more map zones, but still, it's just not enough. They either need to increase the amount of ore we get per node we destroy, or add more in the same locations, which won't be hard at all. They could also give us more for cheaper from the Ferzen seal exchange. They could give us some more maybe guaranteed ways to get it from mini bosses. We know with the dailies, if you chose Ferzen, for example, instead of the 5 from the boss keys, you get a bag that gives you a chance to get platinum ore. You could have that, but instead of a chance, it could be guaranteed, and it could be in everyone. So I think the keys should be in every single one here, and then choose Ferzen, and then we can get the guaranteed one. I think that would be another good way to increase our Plat income. We have obviously got rewards from the time-space junction. This could be buffed as well, because yes, it's quite nice for what they've given us, you know. So a little bit of stuff around this needs to be boosted. I think you need to get 1,000 per sector, with how long it's taking us to even get a reset of this and how difficult they are. They need to be at a minimum of 1,000 per sector, and then we need more rewards. So instead of 2, we need 3 on each one, in my opinion. Yes, it's great we get more seals, but again, we're going to have to craft the magic infused plate that costs 25 platinum ingots. So we need one of those in this section as well, you know. And then something else. We can have maybe both the magic crystals and the potions in the second one, or something like that, right? Because obviously in sector 2 we did get the potions instead. So just have more. We just need more of everything, really, with the current state of the game. Everything is just far too expensive, far too hard to get. Those were the main fixes, in a way. Fixes of what we currently have. Now, I've got a few quality of life, and then some new additions that we could add to really round out the game and really improve it. So quality of life, I have been going on about this since release. There is so much visual vomit in our face with all the animations, and now especially with the block showing up. It was great. They listened to us. We were like, why am I doing no damage? They explained it with this block mechanic, and they said, okay, and then we said, okay, great, we need to know when we are being blocked. It's now all over the place. We're being blocked an insane amount, so maybe reduce the being blocked amount, but reduce the visual vomit. It's really cool. We can see the animations of our skills, really, really cool. But when I'm fighting enemies and I can't see what they're doing, and then I'm just getting battered because I can't see their attack animations, that's just not really good for gameplay. They've reduced it for party play. We can just toggle it off. There needs to be a slider or a toggle, preferably a slider, because I want to see my animations. I want to see really cool animations that my characters are doing. Have a slider to lower the transparency, to shrink the size of that block that's popping up. Something needs to be done. Those are my suggestions. A slider should have transparency and reduce the size of the block. The next quality of life, and it's kind of like they shot themselves in their own foot because people were abusing this early on, and not everyone will care about this, but for those that are trying to find stuff to do in the game in this lull period between patches, and I don't understand really why they are separating each patch into different stages, but maybe it's just to kind of stretch it out. People are finding ways for stuff to do content. I have just finished my personal goal to try and get every weapon and every pet. Actually, I'm missing one pet, free-to-play pet, which is a spider. But I have grinded hours to get all these grey weapons, and before they patched it and reduced the drop rate, it was so much easier. But now it is really, really tough. So for those that are trying to find stuff to do in the game, to keep this game alive, they need to find a way to boost grey drop weapons, and then people can, oh, now I can grind. Look, I can try and get to star fragments of number 300, or I can get to the magical crystal shards. It'll be not a really hard way to make people play more. So that's one other thing that people have asked for. Something that I think would be really nice is to reduce the time of gathering every single day, because we don't want to miss out on certain gatherings because there's so few resources. Platinum is a big one. The gemstones is another big one. We now need lots of sap for crafting stuff. A portable waypoint that you can place in one location, and then no matter what, you can go there. Maybe you have one or two of them around the map, because the map is going to expand and get bigger and bigger and bigger. So maybe one for now, and then later on add another one. And for example, because one of them I think is a bit of a pain, is the Plat over here. You have to go all the way into Fort Soldiers, over, then under, or this is a really big one as well. To get to the Plat all the way over here, allow us to put a portable waypoint. And then if you change the location, it resets it so you can't go here, for example. And that means that instead of having to go to Firefly Grave, run all the way up here, then fly all the way over, and then get to the Plat, it will make the grind a lot easier for us. So I think that could be helpful to reduce the fatigue of the daily grind, make it a bit easier. I'm not sure about you guys, but for me, and I know for some others, they have been grinding a lot to try and get weapon blueprints. Look, I'm even got 3 that I just can't use from out of Plat, and I buy as much Plat as I can every single week, which is madness, right? The amount of accessories and armor pieces I get in comparison to the weapon crafting blueprint. I know they say it's the same amount, but I swear it's not the same drop rate. I rarely ever get the weapon crafting blueprints, and if I do, I've only got one full one in my whole time playing, and I've played every single day since release, a long time. People have said, can we have an exchange? It doesn't have to be 1-to-1, maybe 3-to-1, and we can exchange 3 full blueprints for one of a different blueprint. That way, these armors that no one's even crafting can then be used to help free-to-play players craft more SSR weapons or more accessories. That would be really, really nice. We have gone over a little bit about the star fragment income by me saying to have added more within the time-space junction. But it's got to be said, they advertise this game to be very free-to-play friendly, and I don't think they have kept their word. We need to have more income. 120 every single day from our missions is not enough. That is pathetic. Once you have done everything in the map, collected pretty much all the chests, I've done a lot of them. I know I've got some missing here or there, especially in Ferzen Forest, but it's huge and really hard to find. There's like no income, and even like they've repeated a key event which has been incredibly disappointing. I can't see it now, but we only got 500 fragments from that. It's pitiful. How are we suspected to be able to summon on our favourite banners when it's going to take us over 3 patches just to get enough to guarantee just 1 unit, let alone duplicates? We need more free-to-play income. Now, how can they do this? there have been some suggestions. First off, I'm going to go with my suggestion, which one could put a lot of fun into the game that you can play with your mates, or just even by yourself, and it won't be too stressful. Is if you know Grand Cross, they have 2 PvP arenas. They've got this free-to-play kind of one, and got this whale one. At least they did when I played it a long time ago. And basically, in the free-to-play one is no matter what happened, you wouldn't lose your rank. So if you lose, you don't lose rank, but if you win, you gain rank. And each week, your rank would not diminish. It wouldn't go back to 0, or it wouldn't go back like one of the ranks from platinum to gold or whatever. It would stay there, and you'd get gems or star fragments depending on your rank. Now, I know a lot of people are like, no, not PvP, not PvP. It's going to be so pay to win. I think what would be really fun is if they could do a hawk race PvP. They have some really fun little races, race tracks, or just from point A to point B with like barriers around Britannia, you know, and we all play as hawk. We all have the same speed to begin with. Maybe I'll come back to that in a second, and then we have these skins for hawk, you know, another use for pets. So we've got so many skins for hawk. We've got the flaming one, we've got the Escanor one, we've got the red demon one, we've got the standard one. They could even make the grey demon like walk as well if they wanted to. Just say have a look, and they could even add more as they go, and then we'll just race. And if you come first, you say you get 100 points to your rank. If you come second, it'll be like 50, and then 30, and then all. But you'd always gain some rank, even if it is a little, right? And as you play more and more and more, that's all you need to do. Just play more. You'll gain rank, and at the end of the week, or at the beginning of the week, it'll see what rank you are, and it'll give you some star fragments. And my suggestion was, minimum, if you're at max rank, you get 900 star fragments for free each week, you know? So that's 3 pulls. That's 3 extra pulls a week. So not bad. And it's not like overwhelming amounts of star fragments that it means people won't even want to spend, you know? I think 900 is fair for the max rank. On top of that, to help with the platinum income or the gold potions or engravement seals, etc., they could have a PvP currency, a hawk coin or something like that, right? They could even reuse this, you know, or make it look different and have like a PvP sign or whatever, and then we'll be able to have something in an exchange store. So we could buy a pair of scissors each week with PvP coins. We could buy 5 sets of needles each week. We could buy up to 10 of the remnants. We could buy gold potions and engravement seals. Obviously, we wouldn't be able to get enough PvP coins to buy the whole shop out, so we'd have to pick and choose what we want. But still, this is going to be a really fun way that people can have fun with their mates, you know, and get some more resources. If they wanted to be a bit more competitive, you could make it so then, like, as you go up in rank, you do level up, so maybe you get an extra 1% in speed boost or whatever, you know. But I don't think that's necessary, really. Make it more fun, make it light-hearted, and this could be a really good fun way to get us a bit more resources. I know there have been leaks about this chibi PvP, but I really don't know much about it, or how those rewards work. I'm just looking at my notes here. I've got quite a few, and we've got quite a lot to get through, so I'm going to try and be quick. Some people would like SSR exclusive weapons for non-limited banner characters, so Jericho, Manny, Diane. Like, we need those limited weapons, you know? So if they can bring them in, make those SSRs more viable, that would be quite nice. We need more SSR weapons outside of the Black Flame. Black Flame is perfect for darkness characters, and it's okay for those that try and min-max and perfectly time tagging in. But it's rubbish for supports, it's rubbish for bursters. Like, people are using freaking blue weapons to burst because this is the only way we can get more elemental burst efficiency. It's a bit ridiculous, you know. We could, if we had something similar to Clotho's rapier, where if they land a certain skill, which is fine, bursters are going to be using all their skills anyway to get some burst efficiency. That would be really nice. It doesn't have to be as good as this. We don't have to get any more buffs, just more burst efficiency, for example. Or for supports, we need some duration, you know, buff duration or debuff duration. You know, we could get like an SSR version of the blazing set, so you can still get the first strike, but then it also increases debuff duration or something, right? We need more options. I have showcased the non-engrave equipment, how you could potentially use it with Manny with her longsword. You could use, so if I quickly go over here, like you can use the gallon top, you can use these bottoms because it's got really good normal skill damage and stuff. I think they need to have more easier ways of access to get these, because early game we are struggling to have a good set until we get our engraved gear. So more options to have non-engraved armor more viable, and even just to try out different ways, you know, because all we do is like, oh, let me find the best engraved, boom, that's it, and leave it there. Something that I think would be really good for content creators, maybe not so much for you guys, but for me, say, is allow us to deactivate potential. So for example, I really like a character, but I want to be able to showcase for the community, even if I didn't make YouTube videos, I think it'd be great, you know. They've only be able to summon a P5 of their favourite DPS. I've got P10. Oh, great. Now I can't show them a good strategy to complete areas in the game like Spacetime Junction. So now I'm going to have to see if I can find a friend to do it or whatever, you know. Allow me to deactivate these potential for the time being for a run and show them how you can accomplish things. I'm not going to talk more about it. I don't think that's necessary. Next thing is something else to have a bit more grind. I know we've just got the scissors and the needles, but something that would be quite nice is we're rolling our gear for our weapons or even our armor. We found, look, normal attack damage is great, but these are rubbish. Allow us to lock one of the stat bonuses, but then increase the price it will cost us to re-roll. So for example, with engravings, if we don't lock any, it will cost us just one remnant of the rift. If we lock one, then it'll cost two, or even three, for example, and then no, it costs two, and then if we lock two, it'll cost 3 or 4, you know, and that way we can try and really min-max and get a really good set, because at the moment magic charge efficiency, healing efficiency is just terrible, but normal attack damage is perfect for her, you know. And then weapon wise, normal skill damage isn't very great, but normal attack damage is, and crit resistance is rubbish. But now I don't want to re-roll this because this is such a good high stat for her. And then here, I love the wind damage and crit damage, ult damage not so much. I'll love to be able to lock these two to try and get wind burst efficiency or normal skill damage, you know? So that would be quite nice. We need to get to world level 5 quickly. All the bosses out here, really easy to farm, but they're not giving us enough drops. Especially, oh my gosh, what's happening there? Let's go over here. Especially these hero tokens. I was shocked that with the Abyss dungeon of the Mastery dungeon, that we're still getting one of these. It's costing us more, it's doing harder, and we're still getting pity amounts of hero tokens. We shouldn't need to spend 150 keys just to be able to max mastery. So they need to up the drops or get us to world level 5 and really ramp up the rewards. Now, it's come to the point people are a little fed up with just a limited amount of SR units. Now, some of them are really, really good. For example, Slater. Really, really good, can slot into any team. We need to have more SR characters. They could make it so then it only appears on original character banners if they want to, but we need more ways for SR characters and even to get dupes of them. I'm really shocked that we have very few exchange stuff in here, because on other similar games they have way more stuff, be able to get dupes or special weapons, or even SR characters. You know, we've only got a few here. We used to have loads. We used to have 3. Now we've only got 1 on the freaking standard banner. That we need to have more options to exchange our star trace fragments. Look, get rid of this stupid elite token. Give us hero and courage tokens, for goodness sake. It's just not enough, in my opinion. Content really needs to come faster. I know they released Escanor early, but I heard all this surrounding area was supposed to be released. But look at this piddly little area. If you look, Varnia's massive. This desert bit's massive. This one's massive. These I know that are a little bit smaller. Look at the giant size of the Fairy King Forest, and even this bit. Look how tiny this is in comparison. waiting 6 weeks for such a small area and such little of content to do is not good enough. We need content to come out faster, to keep a good pace and everything. Allow us to enjoy the game. We want this game to succeed. We love the IP and love the characters. Allow us to enjoy playing it, you know. And with that, it allows us to get more free to play income to summon on the characters we want, you know. Some other ways that they could increase free to play income is having some really simple like roguelike dungeons that can be resetting weekly. Lots of games do this. It's like a labyrinth. You basically have to choose depending on the room, and you can either go to a shop, you can do a normal battle or elite battle, and then eventually you've got a big boss, and then you get some you can get your gems or star fragments and other rewards at the end of it when you do the second floor boss or the third floor boss, and that's it, you know. So that's kind of all the ones I've noted down. Community members have gathered another list. So let's have a quick look at that. You're going to hide me, and I'm going to show another one. So I think it's window capture. Here it is. And then I'll hide me. So let's look at this. Not only is there not enough content, but there has been quite a lot of technical problems. So especially for mobile and PlayStation, it needs to have a lot more optimization. It overheats, there's really poor connection, there's lagginess. I know they have made a massive difference since release, but it needs to keep going on and quicker. Sometimes you dodge and you actually don't evade. It has happened to me constantly, and I'm wasting my dodges. I have to dodge twice just for it to recognize I have dodged. Or sometimes I dodge through, it has the animation, and then I get flung back. And apparently it's not just me with my poor ping, it's happening to other people. So many times I'm mashing buttons as well as other people's, and skills aren't happening, changing characters aren't happening, something's going on. It needs to be fixed. Also, if you are using abilities too fast, here's an example with Manny, you try and put your area buff down and then you want to use your attack. If you do it too fast in quick succession, you don't even get the buff. It cancels out the buff, you know. This needs to be fixed. There is a delay of character swapping, like I said. In this most recent patch that we got, I and other people, they use their ult, and for some reason we get knocked out of it, and our ult goes on cooldown, our ult gauge has dropped, and our ultimate has just not happened. This needs to be fixed. There's so many misleading translations in the game. Even still, I know they fix some, but they need to check. This is just shocking, really. So here they have said that King's Potential 6 is misleading, and it's not true. I've heard that Clotho's Staff P10, that is mistranslated and is not true, and it actually does more than what it says. For example, they need to do some translation checks before releasing stuff. It's not right. I've already gone over the visual clutter, so I'm going to skip that one. Apparently there's still some day one bugs that they haven't fixed. They said that you can clip through walls. If you lose a bit of connection or something, you can drop down through the floor. Like, come on guys, make it a bit more stable and a bit more robust. We've got some real content here. The grind is just too boring. We get our Plat, we get our Sunstone, whatever, we spend our 50 keys. Oh, what do I do? Not everyone is like me who try and set little goals to find enjoyment in the game. There needs to be more content. I know that there is guild content coming. For some reason they have delayed it until the second half of the year. They really need to bring that back and bring it to us sooner, because knighthoods at the moment are pointless, you know. So yes. Renewable PvE modes. Look, we've got a roguelike. See, so many people have such good ideas that it kind of goes together. Rewards proportional to the grind. There's really only 2 endgame fights at the moment, and we don't even know how long the Spacetime Junction season is going to last, because imagine it's going to last 6 weeks, right? And we only get that little amount of resources. It's just not. We need more, right? There needs to be dynamic events in the world. I think this is a really, really good point. There's I've travelled across the world, and there's so many just empty areas. It's just like a dead zone. And even if you go to places where there are enemies, it's just like they're just standing there walking around waiting to be killed. In the Leonis area, there are some that actually fight one another, which is really cool, you know. So dynamic world events saying, there's a battle between the Holy Knights of Leonis and demons, or like mini bosses or anything, right? Go help them fight and you get a reward for it that don't need keys, you know. That'll be really, really nice. Or you're running around the world and a farmer is being chased by some goblins or scorpions or bandits. You have to help them, and you get like 50 star fragments or something. That would be really nice. Progression of farming, the resource scarcity. Look, platinum and sunstones, the amount we need more of it, and they need to be clumped together in larger quantities. The amount it costs to get the mining machine and how pathetic it is laughable. We've gone over the terrible gear system. We spend all our hard-earned resources and we get nothing, or worse. Need more keys. Okay, so I have some information. I've got a source and I've been told that there has been high considerations. So take this with a grain of salt because it's not obviously set in stone, but we're going to have a double key amount and they're going to reduce the cost of dungeons, which will be really nice. So like Abyss will be 10 and everything else will be 5. So hopefully that's true. We'll have to see. Obviously there have been lots of leaks going around, and I don't really want to talk about too much leaks because I think things can change. But we have seen, if you're in the Discord, people have been sharing pictures of basically the whole Britannia being ready. Like they've built it already. It's just them taking their time to release it, which I think is ridiculous. So yeah, world boss respawns. It's really annoying to have to log in and out. I know they have talked about this. Hopefully they'll make it so it respawns near instantly, or we can just reactivate the portal or the statue or whatever. You know, make it so we can farm things easier without having to log in and out. Battle Pass, it needs to have more value, especially the premium one. I'm surprised even the free one has basically nothing in it. We need more free-to-play summons. It doesn't have to be the premium ones. It could be the standard purple summons. We need scissors in there. We need needles in there. We need more platinum in there. Give us more, please. So much of us are happy to pay if it's worth it. It's just, at the moment, it's just not great, to be honest. We need better communication. Postman and nerfs unacceptable. Okay, this one I'm not going to really accept because it was a bug. I know it's a nerf in a sense because it's making teams worse, but it was a bug. It wasn't doing what the description said it was supposed to do. So I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I don't think things should be nerfed, but if it's being fixed, I can't be too upset about that. We need more stuff before, like more than just a day before the release. Like, it's a bit crazy. We have to wait until the day before an update to find out like animations or just anything that's going to happen. We need more excitement and hype leading up to an update. You know, show us a teaser of a character just about their story or lore, and then a few days later show us like an ultimate of one of the weapons. You know, something like that would be really, really nice. People are saying there's too many original characters before we have the main cast. Now, I can understand they're alternating, but I think what they should probably do is they should have it every 2 original characters, 2 main cast to then original character. So we should have had like Meliodas, Barn, Daisy, and then we should have had like Merlin, Gotha, Clotho, and then we should have had Escanor or whatever, like Zeldris or whatever, and then another one, you know. So I think it could be spaced out like that, which would be quite nice. We need, so I think this is quite nice quality of life. When we collect our rewards and we see a ring, oh, I've been looking for this ring. Let me see its substat. Oh, it's not telling us. Need a more detailed screen. Show us the substats that we get from the loot. Also show how many we have in our bag. If you're farming to get a certain amount of transcendent essence, or the dungeon drops to be able to craft a weapon or armor or accessories, let us know so we don't have to freaking check every single time. Allow us to retry. Don't make us leave the dungeon and then have to queue back in and get back in the dungeon. Let us allow to click a retry button, and if you're in a party, do a similar thing where it has the timer and then allow them to click accept and we get back in. Allow us to craft legendary capture potions. I think they said they were going to do this, and at the moment they're just doing it as rewards. Allow us to craft them. I'm not sure about the on-screen quest tracking. Is that needed, to be honest? Allows to pin specific items somewhere on the screen to track. It's constantly okay. This is quite nice. So I know we have the tracking to get certain items, but if we want to craft something, it'd be nice to see how much we have as we collect it to see if we have accomplished the amount we need to craft the item. I think that would be quite nice. Inventory search system, sure, that's not too bad. We do need presets. I know we have teams, but even if we switch team, we still need to switch. Like I've got a team for my axe Escanor and a team for my greatsword Escanor. Oh, if I switch from axe to greatsword, now I'm going to have to go back into Escanor, change him into greatsword, change his engraved gear, change his accessories. It's such a palaver, such a wasted amount of time. We need gear presets. We need more uses for pets. I think this is a really good idea. Allow us to send them on expeditions to farm drops for us. It doesn't have to be guaranteed to get the highest rarity drops, but this could be a really good way for us to passively farm certain items around the world, like sap, because that's used a lot. We could even use the golem to farm ore, which gives us a chance of getting platinum ore, another way to give us more plat, which would be quite nice. They've already talked about queuing up for dungeons, so that would be nice, but here they say allow us to know which party member is declining or missed it, because over and over again it's just wasting our time. Let's kick that person and then find a different one. We've already done an instant battle retry, so we've gone over a lot, and I think we've made some really fantastic suggestions. If you have any more suggestions, please put them in the comments. The mods have said that they are more than happy to send this video directly to the devs. I've talked to them about it. They really want feedback. So this video will be sent directly to the devs. Please give feedback. If there's anything I've missed, let me know in the comments. Now, something to keep you excited. A little bit of a leak from the devs that I can tell you is their own fault for letting us know. Okay, so basically, there is going to be a collab, and the first collab that's going to be the slime collab. Someone in the Discord chat said, I can't wait for the slime collab, tagging a mod saying who are you excited to play, and this, oh yeah, they said something in the lines of it's gonna be good. I'm a bit afraid if Diablo's going to come, because that'll be pretty broken. So maybe this can be excited you to come back at some point or keep playing even further. But yeah, a collab will come, which is pretty cool in my mind. We've got Merlin and Elizabeth coming very soon, so that's kind of exciting. I'm really excited for that. On Wednesday, so we're going to get this love world coming, which is really cool. Look at this, it's like a new side area, new story. Look at it, it's beautiful, it's amazing. And then this is the NPC we're going to have to fight. So yeah, this is really cool, right? And they've also leaked a skin for Merlin, hubba, I know, right? And then we've got some swimsuit skins for Elizabeth and Manny, which look fantastic. So people saying that these aren't coming out together or very, very close together, I don't know what's going on with you, but yeah, I assume they're going to probably put it in multiple parts, that we're going to have like Merlin come or something, and we're going to have a new sector on one week, and then we're going to have a summer event on the next week, and then we're going to have like knighthood ranking or Spacetime ranking or whatever, and then the week after, you know. So I think it'd be, hopefully the next big patch can save the game. If you've watched more than 5 minutes, I just thank you. I have a giveaway going. If you watched my previous video of my Clotho DPS, go on that video, comment the amount of hours you think I've played with hashtag giveaway, and you'll be in the running to get a supply cart to get gems daily. I hope you can agree with my suggestions, and if you've got more, that'll be great. And I hope that Netmarble can listen to this and at least take some of them and execute suggestions correctly. So yeah, I hope to see you in the next video on probably Monday, where I can test out Rapier Clotho and have a bit of fun there, and do a bit of cracked or sacked with that. That'll be quite fun. But until then, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and bye.